2022 Minto US Open Pickleball Championships. An awesome week it has been here in Naples, and now men's doubles on deck and another special atmosphere inside this open air arena on Zing Zang Championship Court. The Johns brothers set to take center stage, and they are an incredible duo. Ben happens to be the #1 player in the world. He is the face of pickleball right now. Last year he was a Triple Crown winner. For all those new to pickleball, that means he won singles, he won doubles, and he won mixed doubles as well. And he's got his older brother by his side, Collin Johns, the oldest of 7 siblings. He is Ben's guardian, he is his setup guy, and this pair together, Melissa, is absolute dynamite.
Oh, they absolutely are, and I can't wait to see them play here today. They are the #1 seed as well as a team for this particular match, and we saw them be contested yesterday by the cousins of Kohler and Wilson, and they're no stranger to playing Matt Wright and Riley Newman either. Just played each other a month ago.
Matt Wright, the attorney by day, pickleball player by the weekends. Nobody does it better than him when it comes to balancing the professional schedule and the real work schedule. Out of the University of Michigan, once a tremendous tennis star and once took down Andy Roddick. Riley Newman mentioned the Johns have 7 siblings. Same for the Newmans. Riley, though, is the middle child in those 7, a tremendous basketball player growing up. Chad, he's taken all that athletic ability and put it into this game of pickleball.
Yeah, definitely. Riley's one of those players that disguises his shots really well. He has a little bit more of an unorthodox style with the 2-hand backhand, but he's able to change directions, really control the ball with that, and his swing is so short and so powerful when he does speed that ball up. And the same with Matt Wright. It's hard. You're hard pressed to find another player on tour who is as experienced and as thoughtful toward the game as Matt Wright.
Right now, 83 degrees here in Naples as you get a look at Ben Johns. His game face is on when it comes time to playing for a championships. It's like Tiger Woods at the Masters. You know you're going to get his absolute best effort.
Oh, you are. He is just the epitome of what it means to be a true champion. I mean, you may think you're up on Ben Johns, but you're never really up on Ben Johns.
I have the starting server, Matt Wright and Riley Newman, who will be serving first, Ben Johns and Collin Johns. Game 1, time in, 0-0-2.
Underway here, men's doubles.
Side out.
And a side out for the Johns. Our officials have done a tremendous job all week long.
They have, and we have Gail Scavangelli on the court for this particular match. She's one of the 2 head refs and has been for just about every year of the US Open.
Second serve here coming up for Ben and Collin. Look at Matt Wright.
0-0-2.
Matt certainly has some of the quickest hands in all of pickleball. These are the #1 and the #2 seed, so we did expect to get this matchup, when this event started yesterday.
Tremendous offensive right and the great defense of Newman makes quite a combination.
So, Chad, what are you expecting to see in this matchup? What is it that Matt and Wright and Riley Newman need to do to beat the Johns brothers today?
So we're already seeing a little bit faster pace to start. And I think all 4 of these players are trying to find a little bit of a rhythm. They were playing mixed doubles a little bit earlier, so that's a different game style. So I think right now they're just trying to find that groove, but we already see that quick speed up, that change of direction from Matt Wright right there. And I think that's what Newman and Wright are going to have to do is keep the Johns brothers off balance. And then on the other side with the Johns brothers, Collin is going to be the one that's going to control it. And Ben just moves so well and can jump into a point so fast that we spoke about it yesterday as Collin is the setup guy within that partnership.
These players know each other so well. Ben Johns teaming up with Matt Wright on numerous occasions. But for most big tournaments, he is usually with brother Collin. And a firefight, as they call it, in this great sport, won by Newman there.
Yeah, and I think we'll see many more of those throughout this match. And just mentioned earlier during the openings, we were talking about just the power that's really come into the game and just how fast it's being played, and it seems just to get faster. And I'd mentioned by the year, but I think, Chad, it's month to month.
Yeah, we're seeing so much more of a injection of new players, specifically coming over from tennis, and they bring that power, the paddle control, and that's where it's just everybody's getting better, so the game is just getting faster and faster and elevating even more. We see Matt Wright with a textbook around the post defense, getting a little bit further back from the kitchen line.
As Ben's shot just a bit long. Explain that kitchen area for folks new to pickleball, Chad.
Yeah, so the on this court, you'll see that the kitchen area closest to the net is that orange-red color, and then you've got the kitchen line, or non-volley zone line. It's a two-dimensional area. You cannot hit a ball out of the air while touching any part of that kitchen. We see those fast hands by Newman and Wright.
And that is in, so the John's a little bit off balance here at the start.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, Chad, that's the second time Wright's gone right behind John's.
Yeah, and both Newman and Wright have excellent misdirections, and we saw Matt Wright do it twice. He's holding that paddle out there in front, making it look like he's going to go back cross court, and just a quick change of the hand to change direction of that ball.
Another around the post from Newman, and right now, Matt and Riley have come out swinging.
Yeah, they really have, and Riley Newman is doing a great job in a setup situation right now, enabling the ball to come into the wheelhouse of Matt Wright.
And our first real Ernie of the match, Ben Johns executes that perfectly.
I think Ben Johns is saying no more of this.
Yeah, and he read that really, really well and took off early. And obviously that is a legal shot. You can jump over the kitchen because it is a two-dimensional area. You just have to make sure both feet are established outside of the court.
0-5-1.
Johns brothers still looking for their first points. Another great hands battle here, and this one won by the Johns.
Yeah, and the crowd's certainly loving that.
1-5-1.
Just incredible hand-eye coordination you were going to see here in the next few hours.
Second serve.
Yeah, and right now Matt Wright is winning the hand battle on his backhand.
Yeah, Matt's staying a little shorter, a little bit more compact than John's on the other side. And we see it right there. Ben getting a little too excited. He got the ball that he wanted, but getting a little too big with the backswing.
5-1-1. Point.
Just a few inches off that time, and another point for Wright and Newman at 6-1.
Yeah, and Wright and Newman need to keep this pressure on. If you back off a little bit and let the Johns brothers back into it, they are very, very dangerous. So what they're doing right here is working. The Johns brothers have to try not to press.
So a timeout on the court. We play to 11, best 2 out of 3. And Wright and Newman out to the phenomenal start here in men's pro doubles.
And they pull away to win gold. That was really impressive. That is a sweet pickle. There's such a thing as a perfect game in pickleball, but you just saw it.
Join us in Naples, Florida for the Franklin US Open Pickleball Championships.
To see the Johns brothers start slow in a match, can't say we're totally surprised. It's happened several times over the past year, but this is a team that certainly knows how to recover, and a good timeout is the best way to do it.
Yeah, and one thing that I'll point out is that this isn't their first match of the day. They actually had to start mixed doubles this morning, so they have each played one mixed doubles match. So now they have to make that transition from mixed doubles into men's doubles, and how challenging is that, Chad?
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a pace difference between mixed doubles and men's doubles. The points are somewhat longer in mixed doubles because the women control the point a little bit more and the men interject themselves. And we see a quick point by Johns right there, so it was a good timeout.
And I'll also point out that Riley and Matt are also playing in mixed doubles. Matt Wright actually got 2 mixed doubles rounds in this morning before this match, and Riley Newman, who's playing mixed doubles with his sister, also got 1 round in before we started this men's championship match.
Side out. One 8-1.
We often talk about the score being the hardest thing to learn when it comes to picking up the sport of pickleball.
Yeah, definitely when I teach new people to the sport, we'll work on the stroke, we'll talk about some of the rules, but we don't talk about scoring until a couple of weeks after because it has a tendency to be a little confusing.
Another early attempt. This one rejected, though, for Wright.
And that was a tougher ball to hit an Ernie off of. Ben Johns did a good job of keeping that ball low, read it well, but with that ball being just below the net, Wright managing to hit it into the net cord.
Point.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Drew, that seems to have been a good timeout. It seems to be you're kind of sensing a momentum change here.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. You can't allow the Johns brothers to get back into the point. They've changed speeds of this game, whereas Wright and Newman were really controlling the tempo.
And just like that, 3 straight points, so the Johns continue to chip away. It's 8-4. Still on their first serve. There's Ben again. That's 4 in a row.
Timeout receiving team.
So timeout for Wright and Newman. So a little gamesmanship here. A game of runs thus far here in Naples. The championship of men's pro doubles.
Pickleball Channel is proud to bring you all the action from Naples, Florida of the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville.
Such a great host site here, East Naples Community Park, and you'll see sponsors all over the court. Zing Zang, the sponsor of the actual playing surface. Ben Johns recently changed his sponsorship, now part of Yola Paddles, coming over from Franklin, and that sent shockwaves, Melissa, throughout the game.
Yeah, it really did. That's only been about a month ago, and so, you know, it's good to see more people getting involved in the sport, and you know, changing the paddle certainly it didn't change the dominance of Ben Johns.
Wright and Newman trying to halt this run. Johns have scored 4 straight. Chad will see these dink battles throughout doubles play.
Yeah.
What is the key during a dink battle?
You know, the style of a dink has changed over the years. It used to be a little bit slower, just sitting right in the middle of the kitchen. Now, with these dinking battles, and the reason why they stay in a dink battle, everybody respects the hands of each player, and you saw coming into that last time out that Wright and Newman tried to speed that ball up into Johns, and he just sat there and counter-attacked it. So the dink controls the point.
Oh, Johns gets tagged right there. Another outstanding point between these two teams.
Yeah, and both teams, I think, doing a great job, you know, staying patient, trying to set up and construct a point for themselves. And only speeding it up when they absolutely see the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and that ball that they're looking to speed up is something that's either sitting out in front of them a little bit or something they can get a little more extended on. And we see Johns going on the offensive again. Wright and Newman have kind of tried to hit through Johns, or the Johns brothers, a couple of times, and their anticipation of that ball coming fast at them has been on point.
What a side out that was, though, for the Johns. They score 7 straight, and we are tied at 8 with Wright and Newman now a chance to go on top once again. That's out.
Second server.
So Wright was making those misdirections earlier on in this game, and you're seeing Ben Johns come over much more into the center of the court, even on the Collin side a lot. And the reason why he's doing that is trying to cut down on the area for Wright and Newman to hit into. And people may say, well, why don't they just go back down the line? Well, his anticipation and his movement is so good. He actually leaves that hole wanting you to hit it there and jumping over quickly.
8-8-1.
One thing with pickleball is it's much more difficult to hit a ball softer and keep it down into the kitchen than it is to hit it hard. You only have 7 feet on either side of the net for that kitchen non-volley zone area.
Second serve.
And the patience there paid off for Wright and Newman, and Riley took
8-8-2.
a very good ball and sped it up into the paddle side hip shoulder area of Johns.
Side out.
Fist pump from Newman as they get side out back once again. So the game started out lightning fast, Melissa, and now it's slowed down just a little bit with all the dinking.
Yeah, it certainly has, and certainly I know it may be a little frustrating for Newman and Wright right now because they had such a commanding lead, but it's still just 8-8, and so they obviously still have a great opportunity to take this game.
Oh, winner by Collin.
That was a very good job by Collin Johns to slide to his right, anticipating the speed up from Riley Newman and counter-attacking.
Still deadlocked at 8. Great defense by Collin Johns. A little drop. Can he get to it? Yes, he will. Crowd in awe right now here in Naples. Still playing, and the Johns come through.
Oh, and that gets him a chest bump and a fist pump from Collin Johns to this crowd who is really appreciating the effort and the display of talent and skill right here on Zing Zang Championship Court.
That is pickleball at its very best. And Chad, what makes it such an exciting spectator sport, especially here at the Open. 9-8, Johns by 1. Don't dare go away. We're back to Naples in a moment.
Pickleball Channel is proud to bring you all the action from Naples, Florida of the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville.
Been a tremendous week here in Naples, and we've got a great men's doubles championship going on right before our eyes. Inside this open-air arena, underneath the blue roof, Drew Felios, Melissa McCurley, Chad Edwards, Rusty Howes. The Johns brothers in the near court, Wright and Newman in the far court. Momentum now is with the Johns.
Yeah, the Johns brothers stepped up their defense of the speed-ups from Wright and Newman. And they're doing a good job of controlling the point here and then picking their time to attack.
That was a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. You know, Drew, you mentioned earlier about Ben Johns changing paddles. It just reminded me that when I first came into the game, there were only a couple of paddle manufacturers worldwide. Now there's over 100.
Ernie attempt from Ben, and he did it kind of from an odd angle that time, Chad.
Yeah, he read Newman's body and the ball positioning early enough. Typically when you attempt that, Ernie, you're looking for the angle of the body, the angle of the paddle, and you're watching to see when your opponent's head drops because they can no longer see your movement.
And we have a game point.
Tremendous comeback from the Johns brothers. Can they finish it off here and take game one? Yes, they will.
Point game.
We just saw why they are regarded as the best duel in the world. Ben and Collin Johns, 8-1 they were down. They win 11-8. Oh, this team is tough. Men's doubles underway here at the US Open. Great to have you with us on CBS Sports.
They pull away to win gold. That was really impressive. That is a sweet pickle. There's such a thing as a perfect game in pickleball, but you just saw it.
Join us in Naples, Florida for the Franklin US Open Pickleball Championships.
There is no other venue that could host this great event. And the folks, they just embrace it year after year. It has become like the spring break of pickleball, hasn't it?
It certainly has, and the bucket list item for many people. But outside Zing Zang Championship Court, there's 59 other courts going on, a vendor village, a player village, all kinds of food, music, and a lot of pickleball, and people just having a great time.
So we're seeing Ben Johns, best player in the game, with his brother Collin right now, leading a game up.
1-0-2.
Yeah, and this has got to be tough, Chad. You were down one, or you were up 8-1, and you lose the game 11-8. I mean, what do you got to make an adjustment to have a different outcome in game two?
Yeah, I think Newman and Wright need to get back to how they started game one. They weren't allowing the Johns brothers to set the pace. These longer dink rallies, we see Ben and Collin moving really, really well. Collin obviously giving Ben a little bit more room. He's looking to counterattack with the backhand. But I think as these points go longer, the Johns brothers gain a little bit more momentum.
Point.
Yeah, and I know, Wright, he had a lot of success early on in game one with that particular shot, but he's missed it 2 or 3 times in the last few attempts.
Yeah, now that I was talking about the movement of the Johns brothers right there, Matt is trying to push that ball a little too fine down the line, where earlier on the Johns brothers weren't able to get balanced.
Newman trying to finish it off. Ben and Collin not cooperating. There are no easy points here.
Wow, are you kidding me?
The Ernie and defended Ernie. I mean, you want to talk about you've only got 14 feet.
0-2-1.
When it's a regular attack, Matt Wright attacking Johns from 7 feet.
How about that shot right there from the plastic man of pickleball? Riley Newman
1-2-1.
was my favorite superhero back in the day.
He's got some long limbs and he's definitely got some reach there.
Oh, just a little bit short. Chad, I want to ask you, right now you look at a guy like Matt Wright, how many more championships would he have
1-2-2.
if it were not for a Ben Johns? Kind of like when Jordan was dominating in basketball. How many more would Barkley or Ewing or Karl Malone have had back in the day?
Yeah, and it's tough because obviously Matt being in his 40s, Ben being in his early 20s, that's the beauty of pickleball, but it's also now with how fast the game is speeding up. I think Matt, like everybody else, wishes that they'd found this game a little bit earlier. The money was there like it is today, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And then you're talking about a completely different number of championships for a player like Matt Wright.
3-1-1.
So I just want to share some stats with you guys because we gather these coming into these Zing Zing championships to be able to share. So Ben Johns, and this is through the Riverland Open, Chad and Drew, 4 tournaments, 49 games. This is for doubles only. 45 wins and 4 losses. That's a 92% win
Time out on the
average.
receiving team. The score is 5-1-1.
That explains why he's the #1 player in the world.
And 5-1 the Johns lead here, game number 2. They've got the momentum right now here on Zing Zang Championship Court.
Pickleball Channel is proud to bring you all the action from Naples, Florida of the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville.
So Johns and Johns lead Wright and Newman. Again, best 2 out of 3, so they are 6 points away from claiming a men's doubles championship.
And their second one, if they do.
Receiving team, you have
Ben
1
Johns
timeout
already
remaining
a
in the game.
singles
Serving team,
champion
you have
here
2
in
timeouts
Naples.
remaining in the game.
Good
Got-
point, Drew. So
Yep.
5-1-1.
he's then seeking his second triple crown, or back-to-back triple crown here for the U.S. Open.
Had a battle with J.W. Johnson, one of the other bright stars in the game.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Point.
Ben Johns with a couple of match points against him and was able to fend him off and take the match.
Yeah, and Ben Johns reading the speed-up attempt from Matt Wright extremely well.
6-1-1.
A difficult skill to learn, but once you get that going with the counter attack,
Second serve.
well, we see Collin Johns going for his own counter attack right there. But when somebody speeds the ball up at you, a lot of the times they're looking to either end the point. So if you can counterattack and it's back on them before they realize that it's coming back, that's the importance of the ability of the counterattack against an aggressive team like Wright and Newman.
7-1-2.
So back in game 1, the Johns trailed 8-1. They took a timeout, and they have not looked back since. Finally, a point from Wright. It equals the side out.
Yeah, and that was a much better misdirect from Wright. He wasn't trying to go behind Johns there. He was looking more for upwards into the body.
Oh, tremendous paddle work.
And again, Wright did a much better job with that firefight.
2-7-1.
He was able to switch sides of the body, attack the backhand, then the forehand of Johns. And when the ball's coming that fast, it's extremely difficult to be able to switch from a backhand to a forehand.
Side out.
Another rip from Ben, and another side out for the Johns.
7-1. second server.
I went just a little wide.
7-2-2.
One thing to really focus on is the footwork of these players. You see them coming back from the kitchen line a little bit on those dinks that are a little bit deeper. They're giving themselves some time and separation. Again, we see another good misdirection from Matt Wright up into the body. And sometimes that misdirection doesn't have to be extremely hard. When it comes up at the face, people are either one going to try to get out of the way, or two, think that it's going a little deeper, and a slower pace there is often very effective on the misdirection.
Drops right in front of the net. Oh, just too much bend.
Yeah, and that's tough. I know Riley's got to feel really frustrated on that because he got the shot that he needed, went into the body of Bennett, got a pop-up, but the defense from Ben Johns was just too tough.
Yeah, and the defense is such an overrated aspect of pickleball. And we're seeing the defense as well as the offense, but I think the defense is starting to come a lot more important in this game. And a lot more players are working on that defensive side.
The people watching this match at home, in the stands, Chad, wondering how can I one day play like this at this level? What advice would you give them?
At this point in the game, it's a little bit more about youth to play with this speed, but definitely, we do have the Senior Pro Tour as well, but it takes a lot of time. Drilling, working on control.
And moves like that.
Yeah. If you're mid-40s and can still jump from the kitchen to the pantry for a little snack of the Ernie right there, it helps. But again, Matt's coming from an extremely high level of tennis.
Now Collin goes for the Ernie, doesn't get it, but it sets up his brother for the put away.
Yeah, and the movement there, whether Collin hits the Ernie or whether he just moves, it creates a change of thought and a change of direction, and we just had a really big clap of Ben Johns is just too powerful once that ball gets up. You see him reach in, take that ball early, and just accelerate through with the backhand roll.
And a timeout on the court. Wright and Newman want to try and halt this momentum as the Johns brothers close in on a men's pro doubles championship here at the US Open.
And they pull away to win gold. That was really impressive. That is a sweet pickle. There's such a thing as a perfect game in pickleball, but you just saw it.
Join us in Naples, Florida for the Franklin US Open Pickleball Championships.
Some of the sights and sounds of what has been an incredible week in Naples as our men's doubles pro continues
15 seconds.
with the Johns brothers closing in on another championship.
Play in game 2 at 9-3.
9-3 here, game 2.
9-3-2.
Yeah, Wright and Newman need to get Collin Johns playing more.
And Chad, we see the guys continuing to be patient, trying to construct the point before they, try to get into that quick firefight that we've been seeing.
Yeah, we're still seeing some longer points here, but like I was saying, Wright and Newman need to make Collin hit a few more of the balls. Ben is not as efficient when he's not moving. He kind of gets back on his heels a little bit, and we saw that ball fly out deep on that last forehand by him.
Oh, right down the middle from Ben.
Yeah, and a little surprised to see Riley try to speed it up, that soon, but maybe he's just trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, it kind of changed things up a little bit, but unfortunately he sped it right up into Ben's body, and he was sitting right on the backhand. That was a better speed up into Collin.
Steep hill to climb here. Game number 2 for Wright and Newman.
Yeah.
Oh. Of course, it tags off Collin. That is a point here in pickleball.
It is a point, and exactly what Wright and Newman need right now. So just slowly closing the gap, and here we are at 5-9-2.
Yeah, and that was a very good shot. Collin is going to slide to the right to try to counterattack with his backhand, and Newman actually got him in the body as he was moving across.
Second server. Nine, 5-2.
So Wright and Newman elude another John side out.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of moving the ball around right now, making Collin hit a lot of the balls, and then when Ben does take a ball, it's a little bit further over on the Collin side, so they're able to go behind him there. Wright and Newman are definitely still in this. We saw the Johns brothers came back from 8-1 in game 1. So it's definitely doable here at 5-9-1 for Wright and Newman.
Second serve.
Yeah, and Matt Wright telling Riley Newman, my fault there, right? Just got that ball a little bit up too high.
And that was the right ball to speed up. I think Matt missed his spot feeding into Ben Johns' forehand.
Johns hits one wide. It's now 9-6.
6-9-2.
Able to get the reset, and how about that from Matt Wright?
Yeah, that was awesome, and great communication. You can hear Matt saying to Riley Newman, yours. Chad, talk a little bit about how important partner communication is.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to have that communication. You're looking at coverage on the court. When you have the confidence that your partner's going to be there, we saw that Matt can slide into the position that he needs to be. If you're worrying about covering that ball in the middle and both players are getting pinched.
Guys, if they score here, this place is going to go crazy. Oh, big point. And a side out back to the Johns.
Yeah, and Wright was just a little impatient with that ball. It was a little too low and wasn't able to get enough power on that attack.
Oh, Johns now makes it championship point.
Yeah, and Ben did an excellent job of keeping the pressure on, getting that ball down, so as when
10-8-1.
it did come back from Newman, it was still coming back up.
Just out.
Yeah, and that's a hard leave on match point.
Not sure if it was a fully
22.
intentional leave by Riley Newman there.
Long again.
Yeah, and so that was excellent by Matt right there. And it looked like a speed up, but it also looked like an speed up, if you will, to the backhand of Ben Johns.
Yeah, and he made the adjustment from the last speed up that he hit at Johns, going a little bit slow, a little bit more spin back behind him. Unfortunately there with that one, again, not the best ball to speed up. Collin sitting there waiting for the counter attack.
8-10-2.
Huge opportunity here for Wright and Newman. Newman pulled the trigger just the right time.
Yeah, that was really nicely done by Newman and Wright. You know, they constructed that perfectly just to get the pop-up they needed to speed that ball up and force an error.
Oh, that's just long from Newman.
Wow. That's the epitome of partner communication. Maybe that's just a John's brother communication or chemistry there, but did he hit him?
Looks like Collin maybe a little shaken up after that. Not sure exactly what happened.
I actually think Ben hit him in the stomach with his paddle.
So I think we're going to need a timeout here, let him catch his breath.
In the line of fire for sure is Collin Johns. Take one more look. Oh,
Yeah, on the take back as Ben was trying to get out of the way, he definitely caught Collin in the forearm, potentially in a little bit of the rib cage as well.
Timeout serving team, the score is 10-9-1, 1 minute.
Pickleball Channel is proud to bring you all the action from Naples, Florida of the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships powered by Margaritaville.
so Collin's still trying to shake off the pain. That was a
Serving team,
stinger.
You have one timeout remaining in the game. Receiving team, you have one timeout remaining in the game. Time in at 10-9-1.
Oh,
And the Johns juggernaut once again
11-9.
rolls through the US Open for a men's doubles championship.
yeah, so they repeat here. You know, the crowd getting a nice response. Standing up, we got some people standing on their feet, giving them applause. What a great effort out here by these guys today. Again, showing just how much the pro game has elevated.
Oh, what a match it was. Come back in game number one. Wright and Newman did the same, but not enough in game number two. Ben and Collin Johns, men's doubles champions. We're back to Naples in just a moment.
And they pull away to win gold. That was really impressive. That is a sweet pickle. There's such a thing as a perfect game in pickleball, but you just saw it.
Join us in Naples, Florida for the Franklin US Open Pickleball Championships.
All right, welcome back here to Zing Zang Championship Court. Our men's doubles champions are here. Ben Johns, Collin Johns, big round of applause. Second championship for you guys at the US Open. Ben, it never gets old with Big Bro, does it?
It certainly doesn't. It's a privilege to be out here every time to play this amazing sport, an amazing tournament, and of course the most amazing partner.
the most amazing partner, I must say. It always seems like you're taking one for the team, Collin. This time you take a paddle right to the ribs, and you had to shake it off at a real critical point in the match.
Yeah, as long as we got the point, I'll deal with it. I got to take one for the team when needed.
Awesome. You know, it's been such an incredible year for you guys. The travel, the sponsorships, the publicity as you continue to be the face of the game. Ben, what kind of responsibility is it for you?
Well, I think, I'm just doing my best to remain, successful in this sport. I enjoy playing it, and I guess it's not really so much a responsibility as, once again, a privilege. It's a lot of fun, and I'm just happy I can do it. So if that positively affects anybody out there for pickleball, then fantastic.
Tremendous job. All right, Collin, finally just playing with your brother, and you guys could just keep on winning, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, as he said, we're enjoying the success, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be there forever. So we got to work each and every day to stay ahead of everyone else, and it's just awesome to be at the top right now.
All right, Beth from Margaritaville is here with some prizes as we're going to get a Margaritaville cruise. Ben, you're going to get, I guess, how many different cruise tickets? That's a lot of nights at sea. I hope you're not seasick.
What are you doing later, Drew?
I may take you up on that. I'm due for a good cruise. Also, Head Sweats US Open Champions hats, pair of Skechers pickleball shoes, prize money as well. Ben and Collin Johnson, the gold medals. Also, Chris Evon will come in to award the gold medals. Prize money as well when you're the best at the Open. Thank you very much, Ben and Collin Johnson, champions of men's doubles pro.